Hi Leo, welcome to your November 2020 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this month, for our actions and interactions with the world at large, we get the Five of Swords. All right, so there could be some final clashes or maybe the clash that needs to be had this month. When it comes to your actions and interactions with the world at large, this month you are really about to open up a can of worms in a lot of ways. That's how I kind of feel that this is going to go. Now, just because, and this is one of the things that I said in one of the weeklies this week, I can't remember which one it was, but basically the message was this. Just because somebody is bitter about something doesn't mean they're wrong in what they're saying, right? So, you know, the way that they come across, it might be loud, it might be obnoxious, you know, their language might be foul, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the content of what they're speaking about is incorrect. This is a month where you're going to have to really think about this, right? Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it that has the impact. It's kind of like the feeling that I get from this is, you know, that whatever it is that you're going to say, you're justified and you're vindicated, but how you say it is going to mean everything this month. So, and the reason being is, like, you know, if you start shouting and screaming and calling somebody names, it's not even so much about winning or losing the battle. It's more a case of, if you do that, the content, the quality of the truth that is in your words is going to get lost in that translation. And that would be a real shame. So this month, whatever it is that you've got to say, no matter how true it is, no matter how honest, no matter how brutal, right? Find a way to say it so that the content, so that the facts in what it is that you're saying is what speaks loudest, not your language, not the way that you delivered it. And it might be hard because it looks like this is, the feeling I get from this is it's something that you've been holding on to for a while, something that you've wanted to say. Look at that. You've waited till the Mars retrograde is over and now you're just going to launch in like, oh dear. Like, all jokes aside, you know, it's supposed to be serious. It does feel like you've been holding on to this for a while, and I kind of feel like now is going to be your moment to speak. So if that is the case, if you've waited this long, do it right. See it through to completion, but in the right way, so that when you come away from this, you can say, you know what, not only did I maintain my integrity and my honesty, but I also maintained my truth, and more importantly, I maintained my cool. All right, for your money and materials, yeesh. We've got the Five of Pentacles. So you could be taking a financial hit this month. Now, the interesting thing is this falls right next to that Five of Swords. And I wonder if this is somebody that you have been financing, maybe somewhere that you've been footing the bill for something, maybe somewhere where financially you've been picking up the slack and maybe you haven't had the recognition for it. Or maybe you're saying to someone, you know what, that's it, I'm turning the tap off, like I'm cutting the purse strings, like no more, I'm not doing this anymore. Now, two fives together when they come up in the tarot represent vigils, and this is, you know, this kind of backs up what I was saying previously. I get the sense that whatever it is that you're going to say this month, you've wanted to say it for a long time. This is something that you've thought about, that you've waited patiently to speak, and now is going to be your moment. When it comes to your finances, it looks like I don't think it's that you're taking a financial hit this month. I think you're going to look at your finances and say, wow, you know what, if I wasn't carrying this person, if I wasn't having to foot the bill for this and this, if I wasn't always the one that had to put their hand in their pocket, I'd be a lot further along than I am at the moment. This is kind of you acknowledging that and owning it, and taking responsibility for it. For your physical health and vitality, please, 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 this is a month to be really careful with your physical body. The Five of Pentacles can sometimes see us out of pocket due to injury. You know, on a really physical, mundane level, that's one of its meanings. So this is a month, especially next to the Five of Swords, this is a month for you to really think about, you know, your physical health and also your financial health, right? If you go into if you go into work and you load it up and you give it to the boss with both barrels, the chances are you're going to get yourself into some trouble. So if there is something that you need to say, just make sure that you're doing it or formulating it in a way that's not going to affect your bag, right? On another note with this, you've got your home and your environment, and you got it here with the Five of Swords. I mean, there's a couple of ways that this could play out. One, it could be an issue that you have with a neighbor or somebody in your locality. The other way that this could show up is something happens with your actual home or your dwelling. And I don't want to say this, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, really, Raf, but it looks like a lot of you are either going to be prompted, excuse me, oh, I'm sorry, that one went right through me. It looks like this month, something's either going to trigger or prompt a move, and it may be in relation to somebody else's health. This is just something that you're going to need to look at. I don't know. I've got a few ideas of what this could be, but this would end up being a very long video if I had to explain all of the, you know, behind it. So I will just say as much as that for now, and hopefully, you know, I hope I'm wrong about all of it, but for your communications and conversations, you have your communications with the world at large, rather, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is nice because it sees you really making some plans, but I will say this as well, it looks like some of you are having to travel this month, and it will be travel that comes up either spontaneously or out of the blue. There is what I've got is you either on the road, or for some of you maybe even traveling further than that, and I feel like this is going to come up, and it won't be because of your own health, it's going to be because of somebody else's. This might mean that you literally have to drop everything really quickly to go and assist or be there. Now, I'm not seeing death, touch wood, not yet anyway. You have to see what other cards come up, obviously, but I'm not seeing that. But what I am seeing is that somebody needs assistance, somebody needs help. It's very likely to be a family member. Sorry, it's just because when I look here, I'm looking at the cards at the same time. Yeah, very likely to be a family member, or maybe somebody that would be considered like a really close friend or a friend of the family, you know, or maybe a partner's friend, partner's family. For your love and relations, excuse me, you have the Nine of Pentacles, right? So this is really nice. For those of you that are single, this journey, no matter how many, no matter the issue that it might raise for you, or the challenges that it might present, or the challenge that it might be because of, you may very well be meeting somebody on this journey. So, you know, this whole situation could be introducing you to the, sorry, I had a complete mind blank then, could be introducing you to somebody that's going to be instrumental in your life, you know, especially on a personal level. For those of you that are partnered, the relationship is strong this month. That is going to be where you find your solace. It's going to be where you find your security. The hard work and effort that you've put into your relationship pays off this month, and you're going to see that no matter what the strain is that's put on you, your relationship can bear that, right? And it's because of all the work that you've done on it up until this point. So the relationship, even the communications look good this month. It's the finances and that Five of Swords that kind of make me think, you know, it could get a little dicey this month. Better than it has been for sure, but I think this is kind of like, you know, the dregs, you know, this is the last push before it all starts to really change. For your first week of the month, you've got the Tower card right underneath the Five of Swords. I'm just going to call it as I see it. This first week of the month, there is a potential for a real bust up, you know, and I'm talking like shouting, screaming, swearing, like it could get really gnarly. And you know me, guys, I have to tell you, you know what I see. The Tower card with the Five of Swords, that's, you know, the hits the fan, right? And it's really important that you remain in your integrity, that you, like I said, no matter what happens, the content of what you say, the level of truth is what needs to speak louder than you do, right? I'm not saying don't be passionate. I'm not saying don't be forceful if you need to get your point across. What I'm saying is if you lose it and become that screaming harpy, it doesn't matter how on point, how true, how honest your words are. They're going to get lost in the melee of it all. All right. That first week of the month. Oof. For the second week of the month, we have the Judgment card with the Five of Pentacles. So it looks like a family member. Financial discussions around or over or on a family member are likely to come up this month. This could be a lot of you, maybe you're playing mediator in some respect, but it could also be you kind of saying, you know what, I'm putting a stop to this. I've financed this, that, the other, this person for long enough. And I kind of feel like this is a moment where you're going to say, actually, you know what, something needs to change. There's going to be something about the finances that are halted or, you know, maybe just like a conscious decision where you go in a different direction, but it's gonna either upset or affect another person. But unfortunately, it just can't be helped, especially if this is you putting your foot down to say, I'm not going to be the bank of whoever you are anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, or, you know, if you've got kids, maybe this is you saying, look, you know what, the bank of mum and dad is shut. If you have, you know, if it's a role reversal and it's your parent that's always asking you for money, this is going to be a month where you're saying, you know what, no more. I've done what I can. I've given what I can. This is it. From now on, you're on your own. It's going to be a moment where it's going to be a bit harsh. I mean, these first 2 weeks, as I've said to all of the signs, it's not going to be until around the 15th of November that things really ease up. Remember that Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio. That will finish and then it will come out of shadow by the time we get to the 15th, which is nice because then on the 13th, Mars will go direct, but it won't be sort of like direct until, let's say, the 15th. So after then, you know, this first 2 weeks, as you can see, this is where your challenges are, right? After that, it should be a lot easier. The third week of the month, we have the Lovers card. This is a journey literally that needs to be taken and it will be made last minute. So this is why I say at the moment you're probably watching this thinking, well, Raf, you know what, I'm not sure, mate, like this time I kind of doubt what you're saying. And I think the reason is because at the moment you can't see what this is going to be. All I can tell you is that it's coming up. On this third week of the month, some spontaneous need to travel is going to arise. And it will see you kind of going, am I going to do it? Am I not? And then boom, you'll just say to yourself, okay, I've got to do it. This needs to be done. And the chances are you will be assisting another person. For those of you that have chronic illnesses or issues or problems, this second week could see you having a flare up, all right? Because your Judgment card can be things that come back in as well. So it's just something for you to be aware of. Be cautious that month, especially with your physical health. And then for your fourth week of the month, you've got the Strength card. So as a Leo, this is your card, of course, which is great. And it's right underneath the Nine of Pentacles, fourth week underneath the love and relations. And this, look at that, Strength card right next to the Lovers, right underneath the Nine of Pentacles. Your relationship this month is strong. If you don't have a relationship, you could be meeting somebody, but again, this will be somebody from a distance, somebody that's possibly from a foreign culture, maybe somebody that you meet in the process of this journey that you're taking or in the duties, etc. that you're doing. It's just not going to be somebody that's in your immediate environment. It could be somebody that you meet, you know, whether this is through the gym, whether this is through, you know, the journey that you're taking in order to go to travel to somebody else that needs your assistance. It's just not going to be in the place that you expect. It will be somewhere out there, you know, even, yes, in the midst of a pandemic, etc. This is going to be an interesting month for Leos for sure. Remember, even though it's going to be This is like the last dregs of it all, right? And once we get into December and we start hitting that great conjunction, everything's going to change for the better. I truly believe that. So I'm really intrigued. For our key to the month, we have the Four of Wands, right? So everything that takes place this month is all leading you not only to your best and brightest, but it's actually going to deliver you from the things that you need to let go. They're going to be shaken right out of your life for you and for your, what's the word? And the things that you want, or the things that you want to invite into your life, you're going to see these start to shape up. It's not going the way that you expect it. So just at that point or that moment this month where you think, okay, it's all falling apart, just at that moment, you're going to see everything switch and everything change. I mean, you can literally see it in the cards, right? These first 2 weeks of the month are a bit, yeah, and then they straight away, look, they start to lighten. So I like this, and the Four of Wands is a beautiful card. This is actually good news, it's happy news, it's reasons to celebrate. So there are moments here that are really going to make up for all of the other crap that you have to deal with at the beginning of the month. All right, so hang in there, hold tight, because it's going to be great, after that initial period. And remember this bit, not what you say, but how you say it. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff, my fellow Leos, Leonine energy people, sun, moon, rising, whichever. Have an amazing, have as best a month as you possibly can. Be conscious, be focused. And with that said, let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.